Don't want to re-drag out this beef with HTML Jones, but now that I'm home from vacation in Colorado, I want to clear up what I mean about morality's role in socialism. So here's the analogy I always use that MIdwesternMarx people are probably sick of hearing by now. This is the ship that American socialist Daniel De Leon says represents socialism. And to Marx and other dialecticians, this is a totality. It's one thing that's made up of multiple different parts which do different things. The ship is made up of sails which make it go, and the base or the hull which hold it together and allow it to float. Okay, but I've said this before. How does that equal socialism, though? In this analogy, the sails will equal morality and the hull will equal concrete historical and economic analysis so you can understand the current conditions and how to change them. But we need an example. Here's a book I didn't have on vacation, Socialism, Utopian, and Scientific. I should have brought you with me. I'm sorry, Ingalls. But anyways, in this book, Ingalls talks about a man named Robert Owen. And Owen was a capitalist who hated capitalism and became a communist. This was before Marx and Engels, mind you, and Marx and Engels loved this man. And they loved Robert Owen because of his morality. He saw the way that capitalism degraded the workers and the masses of society and said, we need to do something about this. And what he tried to do was create a utopian society in which workers could live and be paid the actual value of their labor. But his co-op societies didn't work. They were crushed by the state or by market forces. So what Marx and Engels say is we are driven by the same morality as Robert Owen. We see the degradation of the masses that comes about under capitalism and we want to change it. However, we can't just make utopian communities. We need to look at capitalism as a totality, see the contradictions within it, and look to ameliorate those. The main contradiction being the relation between the capitalist who owns the means of production and the worker who has to sell his labor power to a capitalist. And understanding that workers need to struggle in mass in order to defeat the capitalist class. You can't just build the utopian communist society overnight. So it's not at all that I don't think morality is important. I think morality was driving Marx and Engels. And it's what drives me, seeing the horrors of capitalism. And you know, my whole point about AOC that started off the original beef was that she's driven by morality, but she was supporting the coup in Bolivia because she didn't realize it was a coup for capitalist expansion. And if you don't have this element, the capitalists will prey on your morality, say, oh, we need to invade this country for human rights or whatever else. Alright, I'm done talking about the ship now, I promise. Just kidding. The ship's a great analogy. Everyone should listen to the ship. Daniel De Leon. Look him up, people.